Oh man, this is such a two-bit operation. Uh, Rearranging furniture and room's a bit of a mess. Tried doing it outside, but apparently the sun is very bright and that didn't really work. Um, wow, I had all these things that I was going to talk about today and already I have forgotten all of them. I guess I've been thinking about how it's kind of interesting that I just dove straight into this without any preparation and am just attempting to see what happens. Like, it's a very slow, iterative process. Like today, I figured out how to get a mirroring so I can center myself in the image. I downloaded an open source video editing software so I can attach the images together, the video segments, because the first two were actually 6. So now I can upload one longer, and it's also compressed, so it takes less time. This morning I was uploading the final segment of yesterday's recordings and noticed I had a comment. Was not expecting that at all, and I had 18 views or something, which I was a bit discomforted to have interaction with my videos because I was hoping for the very comfortable round zeros. I put these videos up as public and that was difficult in itself. I hovered over the button and almost thought, let's go private and put them up later, and I was like, no, fuck it, let's just put them up, see what happens. And yeah, I was honestly wanting no one to watch them. And the first comment, as you could probably expect from YouTube, was a negative comment. At least that's my impression of YouTube. Why was this in my feed? Useless. And initially it was like, oh, I felt a little sad, but then I just thought about it and it's like, yeah, why is it in this guy's feed? And I do agree, there's not really anything of benefit to anyone else, I imagine, from watching my videos, even though I am learning the great benefits of it, doing this for myself. Yeah, I thought it was interesting actually that the YouTube algorithm was suggesting someone with a new channel, no views, 2 people. I kind of thought the initial getting, publicizing of your online stuff had to be by interacting, I don't know, putting it out there somehow, and didn't think the algorithm was going to help with that at all. I mean, 18 views, look out. Not very many, but yeah. I thought about how what was that? I regularly send long ass voice messages to friends, and it's kind of like that, talking out aloud to yourself. But it often does get to the point where I'm like, whoa, I'm kind of rambling now, and I'm sorry that this is getting long, so I send it off with an apology. And I guess no one has to watch this, so no apology given. On the topic that I was talking about yesterday, another day of just grinding, butting my head against problems and barely getting anywhere, like just pushing up against this problem. And I did make progress, but then the very next step, lots of issues. I'm putting up writing code and learning how to make a web server, which is going to be a website, and just trying to learn this stuff, and I've been documenting along the way, and I found it's been actually a good framing to think, if I'm going to teach this stuff to someone, then I need to understand it enough to put it into a format that another person could understand, and so that sort of makes me go a little extra on, you know, especially when writing code. It's like someone's got a solution, copy and paste it in there, and you know it works, and then I'm like, okay, well, that worked, I have no idea why, and so I'll break it apart, and you know, in Notion I will sort of add in little details explaining why it actually works, and when I dig around I understand it better, and then I have the capacity to potentially teach it to someone else one day. At least that's the plan. That's been a very fruitful framing. However, very tiresome day of not making success in that upward trajectory that I talked about, and having a little downward hump. It's been lots of downward humps, and it's been I just remembered actually that I am going off of coffee, and it's something that I've often done. I'll drink it for a couple of months and then I'll take a couple of months break, and often I just cold turkey, alright, today I'm not drinking any coffee, and then I'll get a crazy headache, very morbid feelings, super depression comes on for maybe a couple of days. This time around I'm trying to do it a bit more, what's the word, weaning off perhaps. So each day I've been getting smaller and smaller, and now I've got like a teaspoon or less of coffee in the morning, and I think that's really factoring in. It's not a hard hit like it normally is, but I've definitely been getting these waves of that explains it. That sound. Words aren't needed. Alright, 3 minutes left. What is something else that is going to come to mind? I've actually been thinking about, this here is getting me used to talking to a camera, speaking out loud, expressing myself, and I'm wanting to maybe make some tutorials and stuff, and I've always wanted to sort of express my more controversial isn't the word, alternative perhaps, spiritual in some ways, anyway, parts of myself that are a bit outside of the usual, at least from my interaction with people, but that's also quite a vulnerable and sensitive thing to do. So I had the idea that maybe I can instead come from a perspective where I have less fear and less vulnerability, and that is my engineering background. So I was going to here I am already, I'm publishing stuff, but attempt to engage online with software development, programming, coding, engineering, building, potentially music, and eventually get to the kookier stuff, because that feels more scary. But I'm sitting right here in front of the camera. It feels kind of vulnerable, and so maybe I'm already doing it. Maybe I'm just jumping in the deep end anyway. And I think this will be fun to look back on, even though it's going to be a fuck ton of time. 10 minutes each day will build up really quick, but just the incremental improvements, like I feel like the lighting and the framing is a bit better already, figuring out the camera, feeling a bit more confident, even though I was not looking forward to this again today. That will be when it changes, is when I'm looking forward to it and I'm not. better do it. Said I was going to. Keep my word to myself. And then when that changes to, oh sweet, yes, it's the time of the day again. But then again, I still get the same with journaling, and I journal all the time, and very frequently it's like, and I'll go journal, and then I feel so much better. So it's just one of those things. Hey, that's it for today.